Coming up on National Focus, universal early childhood education gets off the ground this September. Prime Minister Skerrit speaks on ongoing infrastructural work around the island and the Caribbean Vocational Certificate Program to be implemented in all government high schools this year. Hello, I'm Mervin. Welcome to National Focus.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Thanks for joining us.
Top in the headlines, NDFD holds its 31st annual general meeting.
And DFC announces 16th World Creole Music Festival lineup.
Our lead story this news time, as Dominica's road network continues to develop across the country, Prime Minister Skerrit in a recent interview highlighted various infrastructural improvements currently taking place. He says government continues to invest heavily in road communications.
We'll continue improving, not only in that part of the country, but throughout the country. We have in Petit Savan, extensive work to be done in Petit Savan. Extensive work is being done in Dalis. We'll be signing the contract. I've already approved those contracts for all the river walls along the West Coast Road from Canefield back to St. Joseph, and that is in excess of $9 million. And work, the only reason why we haven't started work because we're watching the weather and the rainfall, and so we don't want to go and do work in the river, in the rapids, and then it washes away what you have done there. Lale Coco contract has been approved for this. Some retaining walls and road maintenance in Girodel, Eggleston area. You're talking about in ports of Lagon, the whole of Lagon, from Rosie Douglas home back towards Lagon. Once the water project is completed in Capuchin, Cottage, Cocoa, these areas there, we'll be doing extensive works there. Vehicles to Penville also, once the water project is completed, we'll be doing a complete rehabilitation of the roads. In terms of feeder roads, contracts are being signed for well over a dozen farm access roads, including Arose in Collio. The farmers there have been complaining for many years about this particular project. They've said that this is a priority project in Collio, so work will start on that very soon. So then we're spending several millions of dollars on roadworks.
The Prime Minister stated that while government is doing all they can, there are always a few hiccups along the way.
The challenge we have is that sometimes people are not diligent in the execution of the works, and we have to continue urging them to be diligent and encourage them to be diligent and to try as far as possible, barring any unforeseen difficulties and circumstances and challenges, that we should seek to complete those works within a reasonable time. So work is ongoing, and we'll see more work taking place in the next weeks and months ahead.
Meanwhile, Public Works Minister Honorable Rayburn Blackmore has confirmed that sections of road in Roseau and Lale Coco are soon to be rehabilitated.
As we speak, we are finalizing the details for the contract to address Victoria Street and Lale Coco.
The Public Works Minister also shed some light on a few other ongoing projects.
We have started road construction. We have finished applying 940 meters of concrete drain in the Dalis to Botica area. And by next week, we should start with the actual application of the asphalted concrete. We have started the restoration of the edges of the road down in the Odalis to Rosalie area. And so there's a lot of work to be done going forward.
In related news, efforts are being continuously made to market Dominica as an attractive tourist destination, and government is considering ways to further develop the Titu Gorge. That's according to Parliamentary Representative Honorable Dr. Colin McIntyre.
And I'm sure Dominicans who are listening, or people who are listening to me here right now on this program, would always remember the Titu Gorge and how cold and chilling it can be to get inside there. It's a great experience, but what's best to come there, partake a little bit in the warm water, which is something we want to look at to eventually building a lovely sort of a waterway there and collecting that water, building a lovely sort of pool there where you can soak in there after this chilling, freezing swim of the Titu Gorge, and of course having a lovely little rum punch made in Loda.
A new reception facility has been erected in the vicinity, which when complete will consist of changing rooms, a bathroom and a bar. The facility is expected to be commissioned before the end of the year.
Officials of the Dominica Festivals Committee on Wednesday announced the full lineup for this year's World Creole Music Festival. The festival is scheduled for Friday, October 26th to Sunday the 28th at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. Headline acts on the 16th edition of the festival include Damian Marley, Taurus Riley, Luke Leandre, Crossfire and T-Vice. Night 1 has been dubbed Dominica Night and will feature Bouillon, Zouk and Compa bands.
We have a cast of some of the top Zouk stars from Martinique and Guadeloupe. We have Stephen Ravor, Luke Leandre, and Luke Leandre has been somebody who's worked with Jeff Joe for several years. They were major collaborators, and so he'll be one of the artists paying homage to Jeff Joe in song. We have Zouk Machine returning to the festival from, as you know, those of you who follow the festival can recall that Zouk Machine was on the second year of the festival, and so they'll be making a grand comeback. Zouk Machine is an exciting group of two very exciting female singers, and they'll be doing their thing on the first night of the festival. And then we have Tanya Saint-Vallods also, who is now a very hot Zouk artist in the French West Indies, and she'll be back at this year's festival. Out of Haiti, we have Criolla. We have out of Dominica, the pioneers of bouillon music, WCK, and of course we have Asa Banton.
Saturday night's lineup includes Taurus Riley, Crossfire and Triple K International.
Fanatic Band making their grand entry on this year's on the festival stage, and they'll be backing up Ra of WCK fame, Onion of Burning Flames, and Fredo of 17 Plus fame. Out of Haiti, we have Disip Gazman, probably one of the most exciting compa bands out of Haiti at this time. I know the Haitian community they're really overwhelmed by the fact that Disip is coming to this year's festival, and I mean, listening to this guy's music is fantastic, and we should be dancing all night to Disip Gazman music, really fantastic compa music. The #1 band out of Barbados, Crossfire, they are doing a sort of a renaissance. A group has been in existence for 25 years, but they are now back fully and big time on the international and regional tour circuit. Crossfire, led by Edwin Yearwood, they are doing their thing, and they will be with us for this year's festival. And to crown it up, we have the royalty, the royal, I say the royal highness of reggae music, the man of She's So Royal, Taurus Riley, out of Jamaica. And then to bring the curtains down on the middle night of this year's festival, Bouillon Giants, Triple K Global.
Sunday's lineup includes two prominent female artists from Dominica and Jamaican reggae artist Damian Marley.
We have out of Haiti, T-Vice. Again, one of the top compa bands of all time. They'll be on Sunday night. We have a group of rising stars, Dominican rising stars. They'll be performing on the Sunday night. And this is really an opportunity to expose up-and-coming acts on the festival. Then we have out of South City, Kings of Cadence, Midnight Groovers. I think probably one of the most popular bands on the festival stage. You know, we were reminded on the first night of 2010 the festival when Groovers just burst out. And we saw them again last year. And we expect bigger things from Chubby and the Midnight Groovers on Sunday night. We have out of Jamaica, probably the most exciting artist at this time in the Caribbean, Damien Jr. Gong Marley, son of the legendary Bob Marley. First time on the festival stage, and we're really looking forward to the Marley Mania, the Marley Magic on the festival.
This year's festival will pay homage to deceased Calypso icon Jeff Joseph of Gramax International.
We're going to be getting various performances, and some of those performances will be in dance. So we've asked a couple of the dance companies to do special dance presentation using Jeff music and using his image and so on. Testimonials and memories of Jeff, and some of that will be recorded and some will be live, as we have said. Songs, we hope that many of the acts will be playing his songs or recording new songs to really say, you know, that they love him and they cared for him. We'll be doing as part of the opening act, and we're incorporating that into the opening act so that you can see that person, that the image of Jeff, who he truly was, and that we highlighted in the opening act. There'll be a mini exhibition that we are working on, and let me just say publicly, very early, a big thank you to Time Man, who was willing to work with us on that project. And so we'll be doing this mini exhibition to highlight Jeff's work in terms of through pictorial forms, through costumes that we can find, through media clippings and various other items that we can lay our hands on so that we can remember Jeff in a big way.
Events director at the DFC, Nafali Mead, told reporters Wednesday that 34 sponsors have already come forward to support the event. Headline sponsor Digicel, who has supported the festival since 2005, has confirmed that $225,000 will be contributed in cash towards this year's festival. The telecommunications company will also contribute $100,000 towards the local and regional promotion of the event. Digicel's country manager and the chairman of the DFC signed the contracts Wednesday morning to formalize Digicel's sponsorship to this year's event.
This is a reflection of the commitment and the passion that we also have for World Creole Music Festival.
The cost for hosting this major musical event is over $2 million EC dollars.
We get $780,000 from the government. We try to get about $500,000 from sponsorship and all other revenue streams, and we try to hit the $1 million mark in terms of gate receipts every year. So if you add that up, that's about $2.2 million.
Meantime, events director at the DFC has revealed that in an effort to give back to patrons who have supported the festival for the past 15 years and to encourage more people to attend the festival, the price of the ticket for night one of the festival will be reduced. The magnitude of the reduction will be announced by officials in the weeks leading up to the event.
In other news, Dominica's leadership has pledged its unwavering support to the National Development Foundation of Dominica, NDFD, which held its 31st annual general meeting on Wednesday. Minister for Employment, Industry and Trade, Honorable Dr. Colin McIntyre, articulated government's endorsements of the foundation at that meeting.
The government stands firm and always willing to assist. I will take back your concerns here. Well, not your concerns. You made some requests here. I'll take them back to the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, and, you know, put a case out there for you. We are always willing to help you through the Aid Bank, through the National Bank, and directly through you. We have assisted.
The ceremony officially commenced with thankful sentiments from Ronald Knight, who is Executive Director of the NDFD. Knight said the foundation should be grateful to God for the ability to have a positive impact on the people of Dominica.
But I think on this glorious day that the Lord has made, we can give thanks and celebrate the life of the NDFD. We can give thanks for the many jobs created, the education given for our founding members, and the overall contribution made to our country. Our reports indicate the progress made over the years through some very difficult times with the invaluable support of our present and past board of directors, benefactors, and staff. We have been able to arrive at this point with a clear vision for the future.
According to Chairman of the Foundation, Dr. Damian Dublin, the government recognized the establishment in the growth and social protection strategy as a major player in poverty reduction on the island. The chairman said that NDFD still faces a significant hurdle of being unable to self-maintain.
We have a constant struggle. The struggle is to ensure sustainability. NDFD, when it started, was supported by grant funding, but this grant funding stopped some time ago. And the job of the board of directors at the time and the staff and the ED was to ensure that the organization itself be sustainable, because it doesn't make sense that you have an organization that's giving support to small business and advice, and the organization in itself cannot sustain itself.
Dr. Dublin described NDFD's board as a proactive and dedicated one which played a key part in the 30th anniversary celebrations of the foundation. He went further to list the activities surrounding their 30th year.
The theme selected, 30 years of dedication to the micro-business sector, was very relevant. Some of the activities which we undertook to celebrate the 30th anniversary was the launch of a website. You can check this website at www.ndfd.dm. You can get all the information required about NDFD there. We had the anniversary magazine, which was well put together, in-house by staff. We need to commend the staff. We have a lot of talented people within NDFD, and we try to make use of them to get things done. We had a business plan competition, which went very well. Health work sponsorship, but to my mind, the most interesting aspect was a street exhibition. It was the first time which we organized it in the street right next to NDFD. We actually blocked the streets, put some tents, and small businesses showcased their products. I mean, it was so interesting that people just walking through, and as they're walking through, they just check the exhibition and move on.
Patrick Pemberton, once treasurer of the NDFD board, was publicly appreciated for the strategic role he played in taking the foundation to a higher plane.
We have shown growth and stability, as is evident in this year's financial statements. The foundation underwent major transformation of financial software and systems in 2009, review of our loan policy in 2011, and increase of financial services being offered to the nation. These activities were spearheaded by Mr. Patrick Pemberton.
For the reporting year, NDFD says a total of 1,581 loans were granted, with a 29% value increase from last year. Of note is the tourism sector, which increased by 4.23% in value. Although the NDFD lists delinquency as a problem for the institution, they have recorded a 5% decrease in their loan delinquency rates from the previous year. The National Development Foundation is also reporting a $2.3 million surplus from 2011's operations. From 1981 to 2011, the foundation has disbursed over $3.8 million in loans.
The Ministry of Education will this academic year introduce a new initiative which will enhance the technical skills of secondary school students, which will prepare them for the workplace. Minister for Education and Human Resource Development, Honorable Peter Seja, spoke at the press conference on Tuesday of plans to implement the Caribbean Vocational Qualification Program at all government high schools. Honorable Seja explained that the introduction of the CVQs at secondary schools is in keeping with his ministry's vision of making technical education an important part of the school's curriculums.
This program seeks to ensure that students receive skill development, technical skill development in various areas, and that they are more prepared to face the regional and global market.
A CVQ is a broad-based preparation system for employment and provides an alternative route to further or higher education. The CVQ is expected to complement the academic track. The program is a recognized and portable qualification in CARICOM and the rest of the world, and will ensure that students will be able to perform in the workplace. The government of Dominica has contracted a loan from the Caribbean Development Bank to fund the CVQ program, which forms part of the Education Enhancement Project.
The government of Dominica is committed to ensuring that every child of preschool age in Dominica has access to a quality early childhood education program. This is in keeping with government's policy of providing quality educational opportunities for all. Education Minister Honorable Peter Seja says the Ministry of Education is now in the process of putting systems and the necessary infrastructure in place to allow for universal early childhood education to take root across the country.
We have sought to address the issue of universal early childhood education by ensuring that every child receives access. Some of the mechanisms that we have put in place, we have established, or we are in the process of establishing new facilities in some communities. In other areas, we are modifying the existing structures and facilities.
Universal access means that preschool must be available for all children in the year before school. Government believes that providing access to preschool programs will help children prepare for learning and for life. The Ministry of Education is hoping that communities will play a role in making universal early childhood education a reality.
We believe that there are still too many children who are not covered by some early childhood facility. And so we're seeking to establish a participation, a joint participation and ownership with the communities, where the communities can feel a sense of ownership as far as their children's education is concerned.
Meanwhile, the minister has announced that children of preschool age will be accommodated at some primary schools where early childhood education centers do not exist.
I am pleased to announce that new preschools will be developed at some of our primary schools, to include the Campbell Primary School, the Pishley Primary School, to cater for the children from Pishley and Bellevue, the Marigot School, the Roseau Primary School, to cater for children in the Silver Lake area and Bath Estate, Trafalgar Primary School, and the Woodford Hill Primary School. So in these schools, we will accommodate the children of preschool age.
A number of existing primary schools already accommodate preschoolers, namely the Castle Bruce, St. Joseph, Vacaz, Collyho, Dalis, and Petit Savant primary schools. Plans are in place to construct new early childhood education centers in Concord and Tetmon during the course of this school year. Early childhood centers, now being remodeled to accommodate more students, will be open on September 10 and 17 respectively. Moving to me, Ola just says that this government is very education-oriented. I'm thinking of that CVQ program where students who are not necessarily academically inclined can learn a skill, something technical to do with their hands.
Yes, I completely agree with you. But let's pay attention now to the early childhood education program. I think it was the assistant education officer for the early childhood education program, Vida George, who once said that the early childhood education program is critical to building the proper foundation for young children. No.
That says to me that this government is interested in providing for everybody educational. You have secondary school students and you also have preschool children who get a chance at a good quality education, and that is what this administration is about.
Yeah, and definitely, because let's face it, when these children come out from the preschools, for example, they have a better foundation. They go to the primary schools, they have, for example, at least they know a few letters, they know how to count. It all helps in that process, and recognizing the fact that government is taking note of that, and government is taking steps to accommodate this happening throughout the island, as a matter of fact.
Speaking of steps, I understand that government is providing funds for preschool administrators who might not be financially stable enough to maintain the number of children that will be flooding into their schools. In addition to that, government is also helping out parents on a personal level to prepare their children for school, like maybe textbooks, school feeding programs, those kind of things. It's just mind-blowing moving.
So clearly, I must say, thumbs up to the Ministry of Education and government for taking this action to ensure that all our children are ready educationally for the future.
I agree.
And that's the English segment of the news. We now join Marcus in St. Louis for the Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins c'est Macpherson Saint-Louis. Premièrement, gouvernement Dominique a one support pour organisation NDFD. Parole celle-là sortie du ministre Commodity, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, qui représente le gouvernement pendant le meeting organisation la journée.
NDFD c'est une organisation, une fondation qui est bien fort. Il a aidé un lot de Dominique. Tout le monde qui a des business, des entrepreneurs, pour le monde qui fait agriculture, agro-processing, n'importe bite, ou capable comme si vous le faites, et puis vous besoin de l'argent pour faire ça. Ce n'est pas tout le monde qui côté ces banques là. avec la une fondation comme ça organisation comme NDFD moun sa vini là nous tapions l'argent pas pour gaspiller ça moi pas parler de l'argent pour ne pas faire sortir ça moi pas parler de moun qui bien sérieux les faire habiter yo ka venir là yo ka parler pour ces moun là NDFD et puis yo ka taper l'argent pour faire bail mais ça me le dit nous n'y a un problème à Dominique la moun ka la yo foundation ko NDFD c'est qualité foundation comme ça yo ka pour jouer avec yo ka prêter l'argent avec yo pas ka payer c'est bail ça pas bon pour NDFD parce là où tu organisation comme ça ka fait plus mal pour jeunes monde qui ka venir ou monde qui ka venir pour prêter côté c'est NDFD foundation on avait fait un problème so moi aujourd'hui nous pledge support nous ka parler contre l'argent nous parler contre House of Assembly, la Premier Ministre qui a parlé de l'argent là, il mettait à National Bank pour National Bank servir pour Foundation pour NDFD. Et bien, actuellement, il y a un parlé de Koui, avec nous, il y a comment acheter l'argent ça pour faire NDFD plus fort, avec on peut habiter online, avec yo prêter d'autres monde, même l'argent ça ça qui est concessionary loan qui n'est plus bas interest. So aujourd'hui mon quota, mon parler côté yo, mon parler pour yo, mon te dit yo côté, mais pour regarder comment nous ca faire bitin because c'est toi l'année nous ca parler côté, ça c'est assez large pour organisation ni pour ils savent qui qualité direction il aller.
À notre nouvelle, Festival Comité Dominique commence promotion pour Festival Créole Mondial l'année 2012. Compagnie Digicel fait présentation l'argent en parmi d'autres bagailles, sponsor festival là. Monsieur Soubas Esprit, c'est officier qui en charge promotion. Esprit fait parole qui festival là qui tient en hommage Jeff Joe.
Nous commençons promotion festival là pour l'année ça festival musique créole nous avons joué fait hommage pour Jeff Joe quand nous savons Jeff Joe mort l'année passée et puis pour nous est bien important pour nous ça va respect et honneur pour le travail que Jeff fait so nous allons développer différentes activités en temps festival là pour faire cette qui nous fait mention et élever travail et puis pour montrer monde qui manière et supporter et contribuer pour musique festival là.
Et puis NDFD tient le 31 grand meeting à aujourd'hui. Organisation là qui a fait un report qui bagaille marche bien bon pour dernier l'année financière qui sorti passé. Report ça là présenté par chairman NDFD Dr. Damien Dublin.
Pour l'année 2011 qui est passé, nous payons un profit. Ça nous a dit c'est NDFD 30 années nous parler pour faire biter marché. Si on est pour analyser contribution nous fait pour une économie pour tout le temps nous là nous ça nous ballons à valeur 5000 et plus et puis nous ballons 1561 loans. So les nous calculer ça ça fait tout loan ça c'est mon là qui pour loan là pour organiser business yo impact inéa sur famille yo et puis la vie yo so ça nous cadre NDFD qui a fait bon meeting Dominique pour faire la vie moun plus meilleure.
Et puis finalement, le ministre de l'Agriculture a travaillé bien formidable au niveau de taper si pour régional et puis international pour manager mauvais maladie Black Sigatoka. Black Sigatoka, c'est mauvais maladie qui a bien détruit l'industrie figue et puis banane. Le ministre a tapé si pour technical, où là, il y a des consultants qui en pays là à présent qui assisté. Il y a un officier Dr. Louis Vicente qui a une longue expérience en management maladie salam. Ensemble et puis officier ministre qui a visité l'occasion tout mon pays là à Simen Salam. Yo qui tient une consultation nationale jeudi passé demain où là yo qui formulé un plan mané pour aller devant. FEU qui a assisté ministre là et puis consultation Salam qui a pris place en hôtel Garaway en Wozo qui a commencé à 8h30. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est Mervin St. Louis. Au revoir.
Up next, the tip of the day.
One secret of happy people is that they practice compassion.
The Dalai Lama said, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion.
Compassion is perhaps the highest level of selflessness that we could have. Practicing compassion can make both others and you happy.
But of course, it requires practice. Start with thinking about the people around you. Look at their needs and find ways to meet them.
Even if you don't do it out of compassion in the beginning, your compassion will grow over time.
And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments.
Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm.
You could also visit our GIS Dominica pages on both YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Mervin Matthew.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Thanks for watching.